Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host Eric Smith, and today I'm talking about Snow Angels by Lucas Mangum. This is from D&T Publishing, and just a little tiny slip of a book. And once again, if you've watched the last few videos, I've talked a little bit about how I've picked the books that I have read recently. And so, a couple videos ago, talked about the book that I was reading because it was in somebody's unboxing video. And then the next book was just sort of random. I had no idea what I wanted to read. I was just looking and it popped up, and immediately I was like, hey, let's read this one. It's been on the chopping block for a while. And then, because I post on social media what I'm currently reading, Lucas Mangum commented on the previous book that I was reading, and so immediately I was like, okay, I'm just going to read some Lucas Mangum next because I got a bunch of his stuff. And there you go. Anyway, that's all neither here nor there. Snow Angels, Lucas Mangum. 30 years ago, 6 convicts died in a snowstorm in Silver Lake. I was going to say Silver Creek, but it's Silver Lake. And now, in the present day, there's a snowstorm coming, and I think maybe some 6 dead convicts are out for revenge. That is essentially, your nutshell for this book. For the too long didn't watch crowd, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. I'm a fan of Lucas Mangum, and he introduces this concept, and he gives us, I think, I was debating how to, the order in which I should do these things, and I think I'll just simply start with, if you're a fan of John Carpenter's The Fog, you're going to like this book. That is the thing that stuck out most in my head as I was reading it, was that it's similar in tone and a bit in story to The Fog. In that movie, you've got the leper ghosts, or leper ghosts, coming out of the fog to take revenge, and here you have these 6 convicts coming out of the snow to take revenge, and we have a number of set pieces. So you have, it's very 80s slasher horror storytelling, and I really had a fun time with it. Excuse me. As I was saying, you have these different set pieces. We've got the main characters, our heroes that we're going to follow, and what's happening with them and how they're trying to stop what's going on. But then we have these set pieces of just, we're introduced to a character, we learn a little bit about them, and then, the bad guys are going to show up. It's a lot of cannon fodder, but we do get backstory, which is nice, especially in this thin little book. It's only, let's see, 131 pages, and yet Lucas Mangum is able to give us characters, if you know what I mean. It's not just cookie cutouts. We get who these people are in a very short amount of time. We get to learn who they are, and so we're going to care a little bit, before. I'm not spoiling anything. People are going to get killed. I compared it to The Fog. But Mangum does a great job at pacing the story, at cutting between our main characters and what they're going through, and then jumping around the town and introducing us to these other characters, and we get the backstory. Although there is one bit of backstory that he teases that I don't believe there was any payoff for. Not that we necessarily need it. Not saying that, but I am going to say that it is there. There's something that is mentioned, and we don't get that filled in. But other than that, some really gruesome violence, which I enjoy. Um, and it's if you like The Fog, if you like 80s slashers with atmosphere, then I think you're going to enjoy Snow Angels. It's it's just a lot of fun. Really, really does feel like an 80s slasher movie with that great tension built up. Um, putting people, it's not just, at night, it's not just dark. You're in these blizzard conditions. And so I haven't really talked too much about the plot. Essentially, that these 6 convicts died 30 years ago, and they didn't have to. That's why they're back. Although they're convicts, maybe they would have come back anyway. But our cast of characters, we have these 3 podcasters who came into town to do a live version of their podcast, and they talk about the Snow Angels of Silver Lake. And so they end up getting trapped in town in the blizzard, and we have well we have someone who worked for the police 30 years ago. We have the son of somebody who worked for the police 30 years ago. We have another guy who was involved in what went on 30 years ago, and his daughter and her one night stand. And so a nice generational mix of characters. And one of them sort of realizes what's going on and brings together these other people he thinks he has a way to stop it. And while they're trying to put a stop to what they believe is coming, again, little vignettes all around the town. It's got a cold open, no pun intended, or maybe pun intended. I saw a great T-shirt that says something about you should intend your puns, quit being a pussy, just own it. But anyway, I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember exactly how I put it. Anyway, there is a cold open where, it's a horror movie, essentially. We're introduced to whatever's sort of going on, although not enough that we know what's going on. And we have somebody die, and then we get into the main story. But it all takes place within essentially 24 hours ish. And just really, really good. 4 out of 5 stars. I really, really liked this. I have a ton of Lucas Mangum. I haven't read all of them, or nearly all of them. Excuse me while I adjust. But I have so much to read. But I feel like, I need to sort of put Lucas into steady rotation. But then I feel about that way about everybody, and I don't have enough time to put all the different authors into a steady rotation. But I don't think it'll be that long. Not making any promises. Not sure it'll be that long before I read my next Lucas Mangum. As a matter of fact, his new one, Barn Door to Hell, sounds so good that as soon as I get a copy of that, that may just be an immediate read. So you might be seeing Lucas Mangum's name again relatively soon. But for now, Snow Angels, 4 out of 5 stars. If you like The Fog, if you like 80s slashers, if you like lots of built up tension and atmosphere, but with graphic violence thrown in, I think you'll enjoy this book. So there you go. Snow Angels, Lucas Mangum, 4 out of 5 stars. Excuse me. Question for this video. How do you feel when you read a book and it strongly reminds you of something else, whether it's a movie or even another book? Unless it's clearly an homage, does that bother you? Does it make you enjoy the book better if it's a movie or a book? If it reminds you of something that you enjoy, if it reminds you of something you didn't enjoy, does that lessen your enjoyment of the book? This question's off the top of my head. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But, I mean, for me, Snow Angel, Snow Angels, as I said, very strong vibes from The Fog. And for me, that just kind of, it actually helped enhance that feeling of suspense and atmosphere because I've felt it in the past when watching The Fog. You know, I watched The Fog when I was relatively young, not a kid, but at a time where I was much more able to immerse myself and feel that slow burning tension and everything. And so for me, that having that feeling to pull out of the past helped enhance that feeling while I was reading this book. So, excuse me, unless something is just a blatant ripoff of something else, I don't mind if it reminds me of something else. Um, well, I was gonna mention some things, but those are straight up homages to other things, so it doesn't quite fit. But yeah, if you read something and it gives you a strong feeling of something else, is that a positive? Is that a negative? Again, does it depend? It's a weird question, but let me know down in the comments. And if you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put those in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here at the Low Budget Review Show. Please like, share, and subscribe, all the usual YouTube stuff. And if you'd care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is at Ronan5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comic books, board games, fuzzy animals, is Eric Smith 5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH 5757. If you're on Blue Sky, I am at EL Smith. That's all I've got for you. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith. And until next time, read more books. I lost